Every undertaking has its share of fabulous flops, but nothing has a reputation of a bigger bomb, a more monumental mistake than the old Edsel. However, today there's a group of car enthusiasts who think the Edsel is a thing of beauty. What do they see that others have missed? Let's take another look at a legend.
And now for the moment I'm sure you've all been looking forward to. A look at the newest member of the Ford family of fine cars, the Edsel.
It was heralded as one of the most anticipated cars of the late 50s. It ended less than 2 years later as the butt of jokes.
Car came out just when the Russian Sputnik went up, and I saw a cartoon in New Yorker that said, hey, guess what, Mamie? The Russians have a Sputnik, we got an Edsel.
The biggest flop in automotive history, a $250 million disaster for Ford Motor Company in 1960.
They were so shocked with the problems they had with it that they just didn't want to even be reminded of it.
Dave Jenkins should know. He was the account executive for Edsel, and 30 years later, he still feels Edsel got a raw deal.
I love the car. I drove the car, I was tremendously impressed with it. And, of course, I bought one, got it the day before official announcement, a convertible, had it for 18 years. It was a marvelous automobile.
Dave is not alone in that assessment. To these members of the Edsel Owners Club, the car was the victim of an unfair criticism.
I think they're a real excellent car. I don't think they were all that bad. They just come out at the wrong time.
I mean, I'll tell you what, if I ever get another old car, it's going to be an Edsel. There ain't no question about it.
At one time, I had 13 Edsels, and thank God I'm down to 3 now. We do have a chap here that has 150 Edsels, and I understand he's going to pick one up in San Jose on the way home.
Edsel Ford, no relation to the Ford family, is one of the founders of the Edsel Owners Club. The club has over 1,500 members from all parts of the U.S., Canada, and Europe. The members meet at shows like this one in Las Vegas to trade parts and proudly show off their Edsels. Gavin and Robbie Garrett traveled all the way from England to attend this meet.
We find in Britain that the Edsel is quite well known. It's almost up at the sort of mid-50s Chevys, Cadillac, that sort of period. And currently there's about 25 Edsels in Britain. There's also one in the Science Museum in London, a 58 Corsair.
The Edsel today has become more of a collectible car, a car with a historical significance. And the people who are collecting Edsels today are collecting them to preserve a piece of history, rather than just having a joke to drive around on wheels.
How does it feel to own an Edsel?
It's like falling in love.
That is how Ford Motor Company hoped the public would see their new make of car. The Edsel was designed to fill a marketing gap between the lower-priced Ford Fairlanes and the top-of-the-line Mercuries.
1958 Edsel, there were 18 different models and 4 basic series. The Ranger and Pacer series were basically built on a Ford Fairlane chassis. In the senior series from 58, they had Corsairs and Citations. These were based on the 57, 58 Mercury chassis.
Alan Henniger's parents owned an Edsel dealership in Canada. Along with his 1958 Ranger two-door hardtop, Alan has mountains of other Edsel memorabilia.
Edsel has always been my favorite car over the years. The style of the car is totally different than any other car that you've ever seen on the road.
Edsel's most famous features were its horseshoe-shaped grille, unknown on American cars of the 50s, and its teletouch gear-changing system.
That's right. Driving the 1958 Edsel is as easy as flicking a light switch.
Well, it was innovative and it was interesting, and most of the time it worked.
Teletouch wasn't the only feature on the 58s.
Town and country radio, the air conditioning, speed warning, which turned your speedometer red when you went too fast, tachometer, power windows, power seats, power steering, power brakes, power trunk clock, power lubricator.
Teletouch was dropped from the 59 models as a cost-cutting measure. Nevertheless, this 59 Corsair retains many of the 58's striking features.
This is one of the first ones that probably had the turnkey starter on it here. And it's got a travel tuner radio, just like the new car has got now. It's got a power seat, 4-way power seat. The seats are made out of a heavy-duty vinyl. The engine in this car is a 361 cubic inch engine. This is a spotlight that I had on it with a mirror in the back.
Restoring these Edsels is a labor of love for these owners.
We restored an Edsel because it's a very unusual car, especially in Britain. The car needed a total restoration. Mechanically, it was pretty good. The teletouch worked, and it was quite a good driver. So we thought it'd be quite an easy restoration.
I think we've done 8 of them, completely restored them. All of them but 2 have got over 100,000 miles on them. So they must have been fairly good cars to run that far.
Has 30 years changed people's opinion of the Edsel?
People really enjoy looking at it.
A ready-made crowd any place we stop.
That's why people drive Edsel. They like the attention they get with them.
So with that in mind, we took a cruise down that showiest of boulevards, the Strip in